Cam Newton, man, our guy, friend of the show, had a comment the other day saying that he would not trade his NFL MVP for a Super Bowl championship. And we got the video. Check it out.
You could give back that league MVP for a Super Bowl championship. Would you do it?
No.
Oh.
Really?
Really?
Why?
Because you have to ask it through this lens. That was a very journalistic viewpoint, a vantage point, a response, Stephen A.
And that would
I'll ask you this question, and just to pose this thought: what's more important, impact or championships? You look at a guy like Allen Iverson, you stood up on the table and blah 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 blah. Everybody's not going to be Michael Jordan. Everybody's not going to be Patrick Mahomes. Everybody's not going to be these individuals who have the luxury of saying, hey, I not only dominated this sport, but I also have championships to back it. Like, let me remind you, Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. Respectfully, Nick Foles won a Super Bowl.
You're making emotional faces. You should go first.
This is a tough one for me because, like, I love winning and I hate losing. And I'm the ultimate team guy. I promise you I am. But winning an NFL MVP is something that's, from a legacy standpoint, is only so many people that's ever done it. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like, man, like, at the end of the day, we want to win. We want to be team guys. But you also want to be a big reason why you're also winning. And if you're able to be the most valuable player in the NFL for a season, out of all these dogs and great players that's in the league, and at the time that he won it, Tom Brady was still in the league, Manny's still in the league, Aaron Rodgers in the league. These are all-timers. And of that year, you was looked at as the most valuable player. That's something that, like, can't nobody ever, like, take that away from you. That's something that you show your kids. Now, granted, you can make the same argument for Super Bowl. You can't take that away from you. But to Cam's point, there's so many factors that goes into Super Bowl to where there's greats like Dan Marino, who we know is an all-time great. Our eyes work, but just never could get it done for other factors even outside of him, right? So just like MVP is something that you yourself can control, and it's like it's your one time to be quote unquote selfish, if you want to call it that. And I'm okay with it. So I guess to answer the question, I would say no. As much as I love winning, I don't see myself trading my NFL. It's tough though.
So you agree with Cam?
Ultimately, yes. It's tough though. Like, he answered it real quick. For me, I gotta at least think about it because I really, JB, I love winning. I'm not gonna lie. Since I was a little ass kid, I'm the biggest sore loser. Like, that's who I always been. But MVP, I think about how I felt when I got it down, and this is like fucking complete small scale, but just again, for me, this was a big deal. I'm in class at Ball State, and class is about to end, and I get like a notification on my phone from Twitter. I'm like, okay. I just pull my phone out and I check, and it's like, all MAC honors, blah, blah. I'm just reading it. It was like first team, boom, boom. Second team, boom, boom. It said third team. It was like Darnell Smith. And I was like, literally, I'm in class. And for me, you got to think, it's humble beginnings. It's like, damn, like, I just know my role. I was a late bloomer. I wasn't some freak athlete. So, like, for me, the feeling I had that day and in that moment of being considered one of the best players in the conference, and that's just at a college level, and that's the MAC level, and that's third. Like, it's way smaller than anything ever touching that. But I'm just using my own experience to give you guys just like some context. Like, I felt amazing. Like, couldn't nobody take that away from me because I know how hard I worked to earn that. So to compare that to like the NFL MVP, like, I just don't see myself being able to trade that away. So.
Macro level wise, let's talk about it. His teammates. I don't know if you win an MVP without any of those 10 other guys on offense, maybe even some of those guys on defense that helped you get the ball at ample opportunity. I would like to know what what his teammates are thinking right now after he said that. That's one question I have before I give you my answer. I think I would ask that because he didn't do that on his own. He had Steve Smith, right? I'm pretty sure, yeah. I think he threw for like right out the gate, like 3 or 4 400-yard games, and then never did it again in his entire career. So he came out like a barn burner, coming out the gate, was freaking it that year. What does his teammates think about this? Because they had to help him get that. Greg Olson's and like CMC was young at the end of the day, but like, what do those guys think? I don't know. Like, I think was Shaun there, or was it the other back, the all-time leading rusher for Carolina?
I need to talk about
Jonathan Stewart.
Jonathan Stewart.
Was it Stewart there? I want to know if he. What do those guys think? Because I think they would rather have the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Well,
it's easy to say that though because they don't have an MVP though. So I don't know.
That's my point. So they didn't win MVP, but there's 11 versus 1, or 10 versus 1. So I guess you'd have to ask the question, like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say it's selfish because I think the points he made make sense. It's hard to give up an award like that, but we also understand this is a quarterback award. Because we'd be talking about Saquon Barkley a lot more today if it wasn't. I don't know, man. This is a tough one. Like, I don't know if I could go out. I don't know if we remember MVPs like we do champions, though. Do we? Like in 10 years, are you going to remember a Super Bowl champ or an MVP? It's an honest question. I don't know. I don't know.
It's tough. I mean, you probably remember Super Bowl champions a little bit more because the Super Bowl was such a big thing. But I do remember a lot of MVP. Like one of the big selling points for Peyton Manning, he got 4 MVPs. Aaron Rodgers got 4 MVPs. Like I know on top of it a lot of MVPs too. And the thing with MVPs is that like a lot of not all of them, of course, but a lot of MVPs got gold jackets too. So you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, damn, like to be just even mentioned, even if it was for 1 year, but be mentioned in the breath of the best who ever do it. It's just like, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, as much as a team sport, at some point though, we like, you want to play well. You want to, you know what I'm saying? It's okay to want success for yourself. I don't think that means I don't care about the team, but you just, you want to play well. And if you're able to be the best, that's tough. That's tough.
Look, we got, his backup is a good friend of mine. His backup's a good friend of mine who comes on our show, Derek Anderson, DA, who I talk to all the time. He would tell you that he was not selfish at all. Cam was a great team guy. He said Cam was a Cam player. But we're sitting here talking about Lamar Jackson MVP twice and not winning. We're talking about winning for him over his MVPs, aren't we?
Yeah. But I think it's only because, and especially if he wins this year, it's like it's his 3rd one. So it's like, all right, like you already did that a couple times. So it just, we're trying to look for the next thing as a fan. You know what I mean? Cam had 1 MVP. So it's like, you gonna trade your 1 MVP for Super Bowl? I'm like, Now Lamar, to that, I'm glad you brought Lamar up. Lamar might trade away one of his. God bless you. He might trade one of his because he got a few of them. If only got 1, you know what I'm saying? That's tough.
He's still a 1%er though.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm not saying that to like discredit Cam.
They're both Heisman and MVPs.
Yeah, and Cam played in Super Bowl and went 15-1 that year. That's what I'm saying. Cam was a bad boy. So like, I just
Carolina. Right.
Right.
Who we're talking about is the worst franchise in football right now, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So
He brought them back to life. Yeah. So like.
Yeah, I don't know. Cam just makes noise right now. He's doing content, like he said on our show. He's a content creator now. He's doing content like mother. He got beef with Steve Kim Whitlaw. He got old girl on there. The baby mama. What's the name? Who Shaun King not very happy with Cam. He like, I don't know about this take. So there's a lot going on with Cam right now. He on ESPN right now with Stephen A. So like, I don't know. There's a lot of guys out there that's won Super Bowl. There's a few guys that we can call anomalies that have won Super Bowls that are not even close to a Cam Newton talent. Foles, Trent Dilfer, Flacco. You know, we can call. There's a lot of guys out there, but I don't know. I find it hard as a player and a coach. Like,
yeah, it's tough.
I feel for my players that didn't win it, even though you got the MVP. But then I feel for Cam, you earned the MVP that year. I mean, that's a thing you're going to die with too. So it's a tough deal, man. I don't know. I get what he's saying, but I also like, fuck. As a coach, obviously, I want to win the fucking thing. I don't care about your individual accolade. So, like, it's a tough one for me. It is what it is.